Coach Zrel9 stood at the big window of the Interspecies Athletic Academy on Kepler Station. His three eyes looked down at the papers in front of him. The file showed information about his new student. He felt tired just reading it. Another human. Another weak creature that would break easily. Humans were slow. They did not live long. Most of them died around 80 or 90 years old. Zrel9 had trained for 300 years. He had seen many species come and go, but humans were the weakest of all. He did not understand why the Galactic Council wanted him to train one. The Council said they wanted diversity. They said they wanted to show that all species could reach the top level. But Zrel9 knew the truth. Humans could never reach the top level. They could not run as fast as other species. They could not lift heavy things as well. Their bodies would break under real training. Trainee Emma Rodriguez reporting for duty, Coach Zrel9. A voice called from the door. The human woman walked forward. She kept her body straight and her head high. Her eyes looked directly at Zrel9 with no fear. She was short, only 1.7 meters tall. Her dark hair was pulled back tight. She wore the black and gold uniform of the Academy. Zrel9 turned his big body toward her. His skin was hard like rock. It was black with blue lines running across it. His forearms hung at his sides. Each arm was thicker than Emma's whole body. He weighed almost 500 kilograms. Emma could not have weighed more than 60. Do you understand what this program does? Zrel9 asked. His voice was like rocks grinding together. The sound made the window shake. The best athletes from every world trained together, Emma said. Her voice was small, but it did not shake. We train to be the best we can be. We prepare for the Galactic Championship. Every athlete from every species competes. The winners become champions. Emma's hands were at her sides. She did not look nervous. She did not look scared. You understand that you will be the only human here? Zrel9 asked. He wanted to see if she would break now. Maybe she would run away before the real training started. Yes, Emma said. I understand. No human has ever finished this program, Zrel9 said. His three eyes all looked at her. No human has ever gotten past the first month. Their bodies are too weak. Their minds give up. They cannot take real pain. They cannot train the way champions train. Emma smiled at him. Not a nervous smile. Not the smile of someone who was scared. She smiled like he had just told her something good. Like he had just given her good news. Then I will be the first, Emma said. Zrel9 felt something strange happen inside his chest. Something he had not felt in a very long time. It was not anger. It was not pity. It was something like interest. Training starts at 5 in the morning, he said. You will train for 12 hours every day, 6 days every week. On your rest day, you will study videos of other athletes. You will learn their methods. You will understand why they are better than you. I will be ready, Emma said. Zrel9 turned away from her. Go to your quarters. Rest tonight. Tomorrow, your real education begins. That night, Zrel9 looked at Emma's records again. Her file said she came from a city called Denver on Earth. She had been a runner since she was a small child. She had won races in her area. But Earth races were nothing. Earth competitions were simple. Earth athletes had no real discipline. Her parents had worked hard to send her to the academy. They had saved money for years. They had believed in her. But belief was not the same as ability. Emma would learn this soon enough. Zrel9 prepared her training schedule. He made it hard. Harder than anything most humans could handle. He put her in gravity chambers that would press down on her body like the weight of 2 worlds. He planned running courses that would burn her legs and lungs. He made tests that would tire her mind and body at the same time. He did all of this because he believed that if she would quit, it was better that she quit fast. Fast was kind. It meant less suffering. He did not think that she might be different from other humans. He did not think that maybe some humans had something special inside. He did not believe that a small human woman could have the kind of strength that mattered in real training. The next morning, Emma arrived at the training ground at 5 o'clock. The sun was not up yet. The lights of the academy were cold and blue. Other athletes were there already. A Xylithian named Koresh was doing warm-up running. His long legs moved like water flowing. A Vorkin named Grath was lifting metal weights as heavy as cars. A Thelener called Shavan was sitting in meditation, preparing her mind. Emma walked to where Zrel9 stood watching the athletes. "First exercise," Zrel9 said. "You run the low-gravity tunnel. 5 kilometers. Fast as you can." Emma nodded. She did not ask questions. She did not complain. She put on the running shoes that were left for her. She walked into the tunnel. The tunnel had lights that showed the distance. 1 kilometer. 2 kilometers. 3. Emma's legs burned. Her breath came hard. But she kept running. 4 kilometers. The other athletes watched her from outside the tunnel. They did not seem to care. They did not think she was important enough to watch. 5 kilometers. Emma crossed the finish line and bent over, breathing very hard. Her face was red. Sweat covered her body. But she was still standing. She had not fallen. She had not given up. Zrel9 looked at the time. It was not a good time. It was slow, but it was faster than he expected a human could run. "Good," he said. "Now you come with me?" He led her to the strength room. The room had big machines and heavy weights. The air was cold. The metal was cold under her hands. "You lift," Zrel9 said. He pointed at a machine. "As much as you can. 20 times. Emma looked at the machine. The weight was set for a beginning student. It was not heavy. But for her small body, it was very heavy. She sat down at the machine. She pulled the handle toward her body. The weight moved. It was hard, but she did it. 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. The muscles in her arms and chest started to shake. 15 times. Emma's breath came in gasps. 20 times. She pulled the handle one last time. The weight came toward her. Then she let go and bent over, breathing hard. She had finished. She had done what Zrel9 told her to do. "You rest for 10 minutes, Zrel9 said. "Then we do this 8 more times." Emma looked at him. Her eyes were tired, but they did not show fear. "Okay," she said. "I am ready." Zrel9 did not say anything. But inside, he felt that strange interest again. Maybe, he thought, just maybe, this human would last longer than he expected. 3 weeks had passed since Emma started training with Coach Zrel9. 3 weeks of pain. 3 weeks of her body screaming at her to stop. 3 weeks of getting up every morning and doing it all again. Emma's room was small and simple. It had a bed, a table, a chair, and a window that looked out at the stars. She slept on the bed, but not for long. She would wake up in the darkness and feel the pain in her muscles. Every part of her body hurt. Her legs felt like they were made of fire. Her arms could barely lift her body out of bed. Even her fingers hurt, but she would get out of bed anyway. She would take a hot shower. The water would help the pain a little bit. Then she would put on her training clothes and walk to the academy training ground. The other athletes did not talk to her. The Xylithian named Koresh would laugh at her when he saw her running. He would run circles around her and then stop and wait for her to catch up. Then he would laugh again and run away. The Vorkin named Grath did not laugh. He just ignored her. He was too big and too strong to care about one small human. Emma was like an insect to him. The Thelener called Chauvin watched Emma with something like curiosity. Sometimes Chauvin would nod at Emma when they passed each other. It was not kind, and it was not mean. It was just a nod. But Emma felt grateful for it. ZRELL-9 gave Emma harder work every day. He increased the weight she had to lift. He made her run longer distances. He put her in the high-gravity chamber, which pressed down on her body with the weight of 2 Earths. In this chamber, every movement was hard. Lifting her arm was like lifting a tree. Walking felt like she was moving through mud. Emma learned to breathe differently. She learned to push her body harder than she thought it could go. She learned that when her mind said she could not do more, she still could. There was always more. On the 7th day of her 2nd week, Emma was in the high-gravity chamber doing exercises. ZREL-9 was watching from outside the glass. The other athletes were resting. It was their rest day, but ZREL-9 kept Emma working. Emma was supposed to do 40 jump exercises. Jumps were simple. You bent your legs and pushed your body up off the ground. In normal gravity, this was easy. In high gravity, it was like trying to jump while someone was sitting on your shoulders. Emma did jump number 30. Her legs burned. Her breath was hard and fast. She could feel her heart beating hard inside her chest. Jump number 31. Her legs did not want to bend. They did not want to push. But she made them do it anyway. Jump number 35. Emma felt tears on her face. Not from pain. From effort. From the simple act of pushing her body to do something it did not want to do. Jump number 40. Emma finished. She bent over inside the high-gravity chamber. The invisible weight pressed down on her. She fell to her knees. She was on her knees. She was breathing very hard. She was crying, and she felt like she could not do this anymore. ZREL-9 opened the door of the chamber. He walked inside. His big body moved easily in the high gravity. It did not bother him at all. He walked over to where Emma was on her knees. "You cannot continue," ZREL-9 said. It was not a question. He was telling her what was true. Emma looked up at him. His 3 eyes looked down at her. She knew he was waiting for her to say that she would quit. She knew this was the moment when humans always gave up. "I can," Emma said. Her voice was weak and small, but it was not giving up. "I can do more." ZREL-9 looked at her for a long time. His hard face did not show any feeling. "Rest," he said finally. "You rest now." Emma did not move right away. She was too tired to move. But ZREL-9 reached down one of his big arms. His hand was open. She took it, and he helped her stand up. After that day, something changed. ZREL-9 still pushed Emma hard. The training was still very difficult. But it was different. It was not designed to make her quit anymore. It was designed to make her better. ZREL-9 started to teach her things. He showed her how other athletes trained. He explained why a Xylithian could run so fast. Their legs were built with special muscles that humans did not have. He explained why a Vorkan could lift so much weight. Their bones were stronger and denser than human bones. "But you have something else," he told her one day. "Your body can learn faster. You can remember things. You can think about how to do something better, and then do it that way. Other species are born knowing how to do things. Humans must learn. Learning means you can always improve." Emma listened. She started to watch the other athletes more carefully. She watched how Koresh moved his legs when he ran. She watched how Grath positioned his body when he lifted weight. She watched how Chauvin moved her mind to control her power. Then she tried to do what they did. It did not work exactly the same. Her body was different, but she could take the ideas and make them work for a human body. At the end of the 3rd week, Zrel9 gave Emma a test. It was the obstacle course. The course had walls to climb, ropes to swing on, tunnels to crawl through, and a long run at the end. The other athletes watched as Emma started the course. Koresh was already laughing before she finished the first obstacle, but Emma moved through the course with a purpose. She did not move fast like Koresh. She moved smart. She figured out the best way to climb the wall. She found the correct place to hold the rope. She moved through the tunnel efficiently. When she finished, she was tired and breathing hard. But she had finished. Zrel9 looked at the time. "Better than yesterday," he said. Emma smiled. Just like always. That warm smile. That night, for the first time in 3 weeks, Emma did not hurt so much when she lay in bed. The pain was still there. It would always be there. But now the pain meant something. It meant she was getting stronger. Zrel-9 sat in his quarters and looked at Emma's file again. He read her times. He read the notes he had written about her progress. He realized something important. She might not quit. This small human woman might actually finish his program. And if she did, she would not be just any athlete. She would be something the galaxy had never seen before. She would be proof that humans could be more than everyone thought. 2 months had passed since Emma started training with Zrel-9. She was not the same person who had arrived at the academy. Her body was stronger. Her muscles had grown. Her times on the obstacle course had gotten faster and faster. But more important than her body, something in her mind had changed. Zrel-9 sat in the academy library late one night. He was reading about human history. He had never bothered to study humans before. They were not important enough. But now he wanted to understand what made Emma different. He read about humans running long distances across deserts. He read about humans climbing high mountains. He read about humans surviving in places that would kill most other species. He read about humans pushing their bodies to do impossible things because they simply decided to do them. He found something called the human marathon. It was a race that was 42 kilometers long. Humans would run this distance. They would be in pain the whole time. Their bodies would break down. Some of them would collapse at the finish line. But they would keep running because they had decided to run. Zrel-9 had never heard of any other species doing something like this. The Xylotheans could run fast, but they did not run long distances for fun. The Vorkans were strong, but they did not lift heavy things just to see if they could. They did what their nature told them to do. But humans chose to do hard things. They chose suffering because they wanted to see how much they could do. Emma came to training every day for 2 months and never complained. She did not ask for easier work. She did not ask for more rest days. She did not ask for anything. She just showed up and did what Zrel-9 told her to do. One day, Zrel-9 gave Emma a new test. He told her to watch videos of 5 different athletes. The Xylothean Koresh, the Vorkan Grath, the Thelener Shavan, a species called the Crow, and a human athlete named David from a city called Chicago. Zrel-9 told Emma to study how each athlete moved. Then he told her to find the best part of each athlete and try to use it in her own training. Emma watched the videos for hours. She took notes. She drew pictures of how the athletes moved. Then she went to the training ground and tried to do what they did. When she tried to move like Koresh, she could not do it. Her legs were not built for that movement. But she watched Koresh more carefully. She saw that he did not waste any energy. Every step was perfect. Every movement meant something. Emma started to think about her own running. She removed all the extra movements. She ran more efficiently. She did not run faster, but she used less energy. When she tried to move like Grath, she could not lift as much weight. But she understood how Grath used his whole body to lift. Grath did not just use his arms. He used his legs and his back and his core. He used his whole body. Emma started to lift the same way. She became stronger. When she studied Chauvin's movements, she learned something different. Chauvin was a Theliner. The Theliners had a special connection to their minds. They could control pain and fear with their thoughts. Chauvin did not stop hurting. She just decided to keep moving. Even though she hurt. Emma realized she did the same thing. She hurt every day, but she kept moving. Her body was her Theliner power. Her mind could control her pain. And when Emma watched David from Chicago, she saw something interesting. David was a human just like her. He was not the fastest runner at the Galactic Championship. He was not the strongest. But he was smart. He watched other runners. He learned from them. He improved a little bit every day. David had gotten 7th place at the championship. 7th place out of thousands of athletes from hundreds of species. He was human, and he had beaten almost everyone. Emma showed these videos to Zrel 9. I understand now, she said. I cannot run like Koresh. I cannot lift like Grath. I cannot control pain like Chauvin. But I can learn from all of them. I can use what I learned to make myself better. Zrel 9 looked at her for a long time. Then he did something he had not done before. He put his big hand on her shoulder. His hand was heavy and hard, but it was not mean. It was something like respect. You understand something that most athletes never learn, he said. You understand that you do not have to be like them. You only have to be the best version of yourself. The other athletes started to notice Emma after this. Koresh stopped laughing at her. One day he watched her complete the obstacle course, and he did not laugh. He just watched and said nothing. Grath nodded at her one morning. It was a small nod, but Emma felt proud. Chauvin started to train near Emma sometimes. One day Chauvin said to her, "You have the strongest mind I have ever seen in a human. Your body is weak, but your mind makes your body strong." Emma did not know what to say, so she just said, "Thank you." Zrel-9 gave Emma harder training after that. He was not trying to make her quit anymore. He was trying to make her strong. He made her run longer distances. He made her do the obstacle course while she was already tired. He made her solve difficult problems while her body was in pain. But Emma did not break. Every day she got a little bit better. One day, Emma asked Zrel 9 something. "Why are you helping me?" She said. "You did not think I could do this." Zrel 9 thought about the question. He had asked himself the same thing. "I was wrong," he said finally. "I did not understand what humans are. I thought you were weak. But weakness in the body is not the same as weakness in the mind. Your species is weak in body, but strong in something else. You are strong in the will to become better. That is a strength that no other species has." Emma smiled. She had smiled many times before, but this time it was different. This time, she was smiling at someone who understood her. Zrel-9 looked at her and realized something. He had trained hundreds of athletes in his long life. Many of them had been faster and stronger than Emma, but Emma was the first one who had made him change his mind about what strength really was. The rest of the academy started to talk about Emma. At first they talked in a mean way. They said she was too weak to be there. They said she would quit soon. They said humans had no place in the highest level of training. But after 3 months, they started to talk differently. They noticed that Emma was getting faster. They noticed that she could complete every test. They noticed that she was still training while other athletes were resting. Koresh stopped laughing at Emma completely. Now he watched her with a different look in his eyes. It was not respect yet. But it was not mockery anymore either. It was confusion. How could a small human woman keep up with the best athletes from across the galaxy? One day, Koresh challenged Emma directly. He walked up to her after training and said, I want to race you. Just you and me. I want to show you that you are still weak." Emma did not refuse. She did not feel scared. She just said okay. ZRELL-9 watched from his position at the side of the training ground. He said nothing, but he was very interested to see what would happen. The race was simple. It was a distance of 1 kilometer. Straight line. No obstacles. Just running as fast as possible. Koresh stood next to Emma. He was 3 times her size. His long legs were built for speed. He had not lost a single race in his entire life. The starting signal was given. Koresh exploded forward like a rocket. His long legs covered huge distances with each step. He was moving so fast that his body was just a blur. Emma started running at her maximum speed. She was fast for a human. But Koresh was moving so much faster that he seemed to be flying. Koresh crossed the finish line. Before Emma had gone half the distance. He crossed it easily. He was barely even breathing hard. Emma continued running. She ran the full kilometer. She was breathing very hard when she finished. Her face was red. She was tired. But she had finished. Koresh was laughing. Not in a mean way exactly. It was the laugh of someone who had just confirmed what they already knew. He had won easily. "You see?" Koresh said. "You are still weak. No matter how much training you do, I am still faster." Emma nodded. She knew it was true. Koresh was faster, and there was nothing she could do to change the fact that her legs were not built for pure speed. "You are right," Emma said. "You are faster than me." But then she said something else. "Let us race on the obstacle course instead." Koresh's smile disappeared. The obstacle course was complicated. It required more than just running fast. It required thinking. It required planning. It required knowing how to solve problems while moving. "Fine," Koresh said. "I will beat you on any course." The obstacle course at the academy was long and complex. It had walls to climb, ropes to swing on, tunnels to crawl through, platforms to jump to, and water to swim through. Athletes had to remember the correct path. They had to move fast, but also move smart. The starting signal was given. Koresh started fast. He was very fast. He climbed the wall quickly. His long arms reached the top easily. He swung on the rope with perfect movements, but Emma did not try to be as fast as Koresh. She moved more carefully. She studied each obstacle. She found the best way through it. Koresh finished the course first. He beat Emma to the finish line. But when ZREL-9 looked at the times, something was different from the pure speed race. Koresh had finished in 47 seconds. Emma had finished in 51 seconds. It was much closer than the 1 kilometer race. "Do it again," Emma said. She was breathing hard, but her eyes were clear. "I understand the course now. I will do better the second time." Koresh did not want to do it again, but other athletes were watching now. Other eyes were on them. If he said no, it would look like he was afraid. "Fine," Koresh said. The second run started. This time, Emma was faster because she knew the course. She knew where to turn. She knew where to take the shortest path. She moved through the obstacles with purpose. Koresh was still faster overall, but Emma's time was better. 49 seconds. Koresh was 48 seconds. 1 second difference. Koresh's face showed shock. Then anger. Then something else. Respect maybe. Emma was breathing very hard. She was tired. She had given everything. But she had almost beaten the Xylithian champion. "Do it one more time," Koresh said. They did the course again. And again. By the 5th time, Emma's time was 46 seconds. She had beaten Koresh. Koresh sat down on the ground. He was breathing hard. He was tired. He was angry. He was shocked. He had not been beaten in years. Emma walked over to him. She extended her hand to help him up. Koresh looked at her hand for a long time. Then he took it, and she helped him stand. "I do not understand," Koresh said. "I am faster than you. I am stronger than you. But you beat me." "You are faster on a straight line," Emma said. "But I learned the course. I learned the best way to move. I learned how to use intelligence instead of just power. You are faster, but I was smarter." Koresh thought about this. He did not say anything for a long time. "I want you to teach me," he said finally. "I want to learn how to think like you think." Emma was surprised, but she said yes. After that day, something changed at the academy. Emma was no longer just a weak human trying to survive. She was an athlete who had something valuable to teach. Other athletes started to watch her. They started to ask her questions. How did she know to take that turn? How did she figure out the best way through the tunnel? Zrel9 watched all of this. He saw Emma teaching Koresh. He saw Grath watching her training methods. He saw Shavan nodding in approval when Emma completed a difficult test. Emma had not just survived the program. She had earned respect. Real respect from the best athletes on the station. One day, Zrel9 told Emma something important. "The Galactic Championship is in 2 months," he said. "You will compete. And you will not go there as a human trying to survive. You will go there as a true athlete. You will go there as a champion." Emma looked at Zrel9 and smiled. She always smiled. But now he understood that her smile was not weakness. It was strength. It was the strength of someone who had decided to be better than their limitations. It was the strength of the human spirit. The Galactic Championship Stadium was enormous. It could hold 100,000 beings from every species across the galaxy. The ceiling was so high that it disappeared into darkness. The seats were arranged in circles rising up and up until they were just tiny spots of light far above. Emma stood in the preparation area with the other athletes. Around her were beings that looked nothing like her. There was a Xylithian who was 3 meters tall and looked like a praying mantis with extra arms. There was a Vorkan as wide as a house and as strong as a mountain. There was a Thelinar who seemed to glow with an inner power. There were creatures from worlds that humans had never even heard of. And there was Emma, small, human, built by Earth where gravity was weak and food was plentiful. Built by a world where the worst predators were no more dangerous than large bears. Built by a species that had learned to survive not through claws and teeth, but through intelligence and the ability to work together. Nobody gave her a chance. The official papers from the championship said that Emma had odds of 1,000 to 1 of even finishing the course. She was the longest shot of all the competitors. Koresh found her in the preparation area. The Xylithian extended his hand and said, "You will show them what humans can do. You will make them understand." Emma took his hand and felt grateful. 3 months ago, Koresh had thought she was a joke. Now he believed in her. The championship course was the hardest test in the galaxy. It was longer than anything Emma had trained on. It had more obstacles. It had more challenges. Athletes had been known to collapse halfway through and have to be carried away by medical teams. Emma would have to run. She would have to swim. She would have to climb. She would have to solve tactical problems. She would have to use her strength and her intelligence and her will all at the same time. The announcer called her name. Emma Rodriguez from Earth. The crowd made a sound like they thought this was a joke. They laughed a little bit. Emma walked to the starting line. She looked up at the stands and saw Zrel9 sitting with the other coaches. His 3 eyes were looking at her. He did not move. He did not show any emotion. But Emma could feel that he was paying attention. The starting signal was given. Emma began. The first section was a run through a forest of obstacles. Other athletes charged forward at top speed. Emma ran at her speed. She was slower, but she moved smart. She avoided the traps that some of the other athletes fell into. She took paths that seemed harder, but were actually shorter. After the forest came swimming. Emma had to swim through water that was cold and dark. Other swimmers passed her easily, but Emma kept swimming. She did not let fear stop her. She did not let cold stop her. After swimming came climbing. A wall that was 50 meters high. Emma was stronger now than she had been at the start of training. Her arms could pull her body upward. Her legs could push. But the wall was long. By the time she reached the top, her arms felt like they would fall off. But she had reached the top. The crowd started to notice her. Some beings were calling out encouragement. Others were just watching with curiosity. How was a small human still in the race? Then came the mental challenges. Emma had to solve puzzles while her body was exhausted. She had to think clearly while her lungs burned for air. She had to make good decisions when all she wanted to do was give up. Emma thought about Zrel 9. He had not taught her just how to run or how to lift weight. He had taught her how to push her mind past its limits. He had taught her that pain was just a message, and she could choose to ignore it. She solved the puzzles. After 5 hours, Emma was still in the race. Most athletes had quit by now. The bodies of humans and other weak species lay on the course. Medical teams worked on them. They had pushed too hard and broken. But Emma was still moving. The final section was a run across open ground toward the finish line. The distance was 5 kilometers, and Emma had to move as fast as she could. Every muscle in her body was tired. Every breath was hard. Every step brought pain. Emma looked at how many athletes were still ahead of her. The Xylithian Koresh was in first place, but running slower now because he was tired. The Vorkin named Groth was in second place. The Thelener Shavan was in third place. Emma was in 14th place. She could not catch the top athletes. Her body could not go that fast. But she could run. She could push herself toward the finish line. 1 kilometer from the end, an athlete in front of her fell. He collapsed onto the ground, too exhausted to continue. Emma ran past him. Now she was in 13th place. Another athlete fell. Emma passed him. 12th place. Emma's vision was starting to go dark at the edges. Her body wanted to shut down, but her mind kept pushing. Push. Run. Keep going. Another athlete could not continue. Emma moved up. She could see the finish line now. It was far away, but she could see it. Just a few kilometers more. Koresh crossed first. The Xylithian had won the race just like everyone expected. Grath crossed second. Shavan crossed third. Then one by one other athletes finished. They were all faster than Emma. They were all stronger. They had all finished before her, but Emma did not give up. 1 kilometer from the finish line, Emma was in 10th place. In the top 10 athletes at the Galactic Championship. 10th place out of thousands of competitors from hundreds of species. Emma's legs almost failed her 100 meters from the end. Everything went quiet. Everything went dark. Then she saw the finish line, and she pushed one more time. She crossed the finish line and immediately fell to the ground. She could not stand anymore. She could not move anymore. She had nothing left to give. Medical teams came and helped her. They put oxygen on her face. They gave her water. They checked her body to make sure nothing was broken. Emma had finished in 10th place. The crowd in the stadium was quiet at first. Then one being started to clap. Then another. Then more and more. Soon the sound was like thunder. 100,000 beings were clapping for the small human woman who had not quit. Zrell-9 made his way down to where Emma was on the medical table. She looked up at him through tired eyes. 10th place, she said, her voice very small. I'm sorry I did not do better. You are sorry? Zrelnine asked. His voice was strange. Emma thought maybe he was angry. But then she understood. He was not angry. He was proud. You finished ahead of thousands of competitors from species that have been training for this for their entire lives, Zrelnine said. You finished ahead of species that are naturally faster and stronger and smarter than humans. You showed the galaxy something it did not believe was possible. Emma smiled. Even though she was exhausted, even though every part of her body hurt, she smiled that same warm smile. You pushed me hard, Emma said. When I wanted to give up, I remembered that you believed I could do more. So I did more. Zrelnine extended his hand and helped Emma sit up. Other athletes were coming over to congratulate her. Even Koresh came and put his long arm around her shoulder. Emma had not won the championship. But she had done something more important. She had shown the galaxy that humans were not weak. Humans had a different kind of strength. A strength of the will. A strength of the mind. A strength that came from choosing to be better than your limitations.